You're watching The Whole Living Show on Trajectory TV.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Whole Living Show. Welcome Wednesday. And I don't know if you know, but my beautiful guest that is waiting backstage, she's actually in my show opener, and I don't know if she knew that. But I have some of my very favorite and beautiful people on the show opener that have been here before, so she is back this evening. But before we bring her in, I just wanted to talk to you about, what do you feel about, living life and doing life? And I'm going to explain what I mean by that, but well into your 80s and 90s. So lately, what has been popping up as news on my phone, which I absolutely love receiving, is that I see beautiful 80 and 90-year-old people that are doing things well into their 80s and 90s. So I have a story here. 90-year-old woman becomes the oldest person to complete her master's degree. A beautiful woman in Texas. She got her master's degree at Texas University. And this was at the end of 2023. So how amazing is that, to continue to keep going and to get your master's? That was a goal of hers throughout her life. She did it. She got her master's at the end of 2023 at the young age of 90 years old. I also read a story where a gentleman wrote a book at 80 years old and is still working at a university now, well into his 90s. And what he said in the article was that he will not stop working. It helps to feed his mind. It helps him to progress and grow. He continues to learn, and he's not going to stop. And then I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about the beautiful Betty White, but she was working up until the day she died. She was 99 years old, and she was still working. She was still getting gigs. She was still entertaining the world at 99 years old, and, very spry and very bubbly and very much alive and still telling jokes at the age of 99. So What do you all think about that out there? I know personally for me, I love to hear these stories because I always say that I'm going to live to at least 100. And I don't want to stop doing the things that I love. I don't want to stop going. I don't want to stop traveling. I don't want to stop doing some form of work, either philanthropy and or something that I love doing. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop reading. I'm not going to stop doing the things that I enjoy until God takes me away from this earth and into the other life. So I don't know what you think about that, but that's my motto. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to quit. That, no stopping until, my last breath. So I'm going to bring in our beautiful guest. I want to know what she thinks about this as well, because I know she is a woman on the move and has a lot going on. And we're going to get into what's happening with her and her beautiful retreat space. If you saw that commercial, we're going to play that again. You saw the commercial at the top of the show. This is the beautiful Upaya Retreat Center, and we're going to talk about what's happening there. All right, let's bring in the beautiful Amy Joy. Yay!
So amazing. And no, I didn't know I was on your opener. That's so cool. I was like,
oh. I got you with that one. I got you.
So good. I don't know if you could see my reaction backstage. It was
I did. I have some of my beautiful faves on there. And I got to give a shout out to the Brandy Johnson, that beautiful young lady. She did my show opener for me.
It's amazing. So, I love it.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Really well done.
Yeah. So listen, I want to know what you think about and what you feel for yourself about working and living life and doing the things that you want to do well into your 80s and 90s.
Absolutely. Like I will never ever stop ever. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah.
No, life's too amazing. Life's too full of magic to just sit and I can't. I can't. It's impossible. No.
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's like hard to sit still, right? And I'm like, as long as I have, breath in my lungs and I can move, right? And I can think, I'm just going to continue to keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's an easy, absolute, like, yeah.
Yeah. Like I always give praise to my grandmother. My grandmother is 94 years old. She still lives in her home by herself. She's still doing things. She's, very much a thinker and very aware of everything. I mean, just amazing. So, I'm always saying to her, like, I want to be just like you, Grandma.
So I had my great grandparents until I was 28 years old. And they met my kids, their great greats. And it was epic to have them so long and to be able to be with them. I used to go into the garden and they called me their bean picker because I would, and then we'd go and snap off the ends for dinner. And so good. No, I'll never stop.
It's amazing. And then when you have, the people that have that type of longevity, right? Just the stories that you get to, discuss with them and hear about some of the things that happened before, you were born and the family life and things that they experienced, right? The way times have changed and seeing it through their eyes, right? Is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. My grandpa, he went through World War II and ran away from the Nazis. He was about to be put in a work camp and a fight broke out in line and he ran and took the distraction as a chance to go and hid and lived in a chicken coop for a while and only came out at night and Wow.
What a story. You always have these amazing stories. What a story though. Wow. Wow. And so where did now, I'm so curious now because what happened after that? Where did he end up going?
Well, this was in Holland. So when Germany took over Holland, the age appropriate men were sent to work camps to make armory, make ammunition and my brain isn't, I don't know why I can't think of the words, tanks and stuff. And but he ended up hiding, like I said. And so I think he did that until the end of the war when they were liberated and then he could come out.
Yeah. Wow. So, what an amazing story. And what a fighter too, right? To go through that.
He's such an advocate for freedom, and so am I. Like I will not be caged. Like I have to be free, and I advocate for everyone to be free. And most free you can be is when you're free in your mind. and you're not suffering.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And this is a wonderful pivot here, because I know part of your story, and if you want to tell some of that leading up to, what has you now doing the retreats that you're doing.
Absolutely. So I grew up in a high demand religion. It was very man dominant. Women basically had no say in really anything. A man could always come in and tell you were doing it wrong and you'd have to change. And I was born with a brain and a mouth, and I used both. And I was constantly in trouble for asking why. Like, that makes no sense. I know I have something to say. And anyways, it was difficult for me. Ended up, it was a school for missionaries, actually. So I ended up doing that too. Went through 4 years of college, got my BA, and then ended up in Papua New Guinea, married with 2 little boys. And my marriage was hell, putting it lightly, and very abusive. And long story short, I got to run for my life with my boys, and ended up running to a foreign country to be able to raise them safely. And hid for 12 years. So the grandpa I was just telling you about, him and my grandma died not even knowing where I lived.
Wow.
Nobody knew. My cousins, uncles, and aunts, they only found out a few years ago where we were. And so I was trapped in lots of ways. I was trapped as far as being free as a human, because I was a girl. I was trapped because of the marriage and the abuse and all the ways. And so I got to find my freedom. And the beautiful thing is, I know exactly what I did to get it. So that allows me to teach it.
Yeah.
And so I just want everyone to feel what I feel.
Yeah.
And I don't violently shake anymore when I think about the trauma and the abuse and my religion or my group, my community disowned me. So I literally lost everyone and everything and started over. So, life is challenging. It's tricky sometimes, and it's our greatest teacher. And so if I only wish I knew what I knew now back then, and I would have been able to navigate it, but it's all perfect. But now I get to share it.
Yeah.
So that's what I do in my retreat called Get Your Shit Together.
Yeah. And thinking about, your story, and knowing that all of the things that we go through, no matter how challenging or how much of a struggle it is at the time that we experience it, we know that it is purposed for something good later on in our lives. And, look where you are. I wanted to ask you, though, as you were talking, I was thinking about, how to build community, right? And how you had to start over, and just think about like the community that you have now. Talk a little bit about, how you built your new community, and even how you are, I'm going to say, intentional about the people that you commune with.
Aw, thank you for seeing me.
Yeah.
See right now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I live in Mexico. This is where I came. It's my happy place. I love it dearly. This is Los Cabos, so it's literally paradise. The sun shines 360 days a year, basically. We have 5 crappy days, if that. And so it's been amazing. And so being so grateful to be housed here, to call this home, to be welcomed so much by the Mexican people. I wanted to give back. And so over the years, as I was building my home and helping my parents with their home and different things, I was like, how can I help my community? How can I give back? And so I was led and directed, I feel, from the divine to create a retreat center and a healing space. So for years now, I've had facilitators in town that have a space to come to use their modalities. I find there's so many healers and facilitators out there that are amazing at what they do, but not so hot at business and doing all the other things. So to be able to have a space that they could go to and just pay a little bit to be able to do what they do, instead of having to have all the overhead to do their own thing, it gets to be a lot.
Yeah.
And so we started that, I don't know, like 5 years ago, maybe. Time flies. And then in the last year, have been working on and just literally officially like finished Upaya. So we've had quite a few retreats already in the process, and magic happens here. Magic happens here, and so it's a space too for locals and facilitators to come and use the space for sound healing or breath work or cacao ceremonies or essential oils or whatever, acro yoga. We've had all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So they use the space, and I get to meet everybody in town and get to bless and be blessed by them. And so that's what we do.
And did you find that there were a lot of healers in that area? And I'm asking that because I remember also what you said about the sacred space and where it is and what it's on. So talk about like what that area is on and why it's so significant.
I love that you brought that up because it's my favorite thing. So if anyone's been to Cabo, and if you have, I know you're vibing with me right now because you know how special it is. Mm-hmm. And in my humble opinion, I believe that it's special because of the vibration. Everything is vibration, and each location has a different vibration. And most cities, most towns has a quite low vibration, is the truth. And then there's special places on the planet. Some of you have been to Sedona and know the vibration there, or Mount Shasta, or there's many places, but Machu Picchu comes to mind. Very, very special locations. And Dr. David Hawkins has a book called Power versus Force. So this is where I'm getting my information. I have geeked out on this subject. It's one of my favorites. And he put a chart together from 0 to 1,000 to measure vibration. And in general, 85% of the planet vibes below 200, which is suffering. Of 200 and above, you get into calm, and then you get into acceptance, and you get into willingness, and then you get into joy and ecstasy, and then enlightenment, just to name a few, yeah? Mm-hmm. And so Cabo, all that to say, is Cabo's at 450. So just coming here, your whole system goes, okay. Now you come to my place, you come to Upaya, and it's over 650. So it's at the frequency of peace. Mm-hmm. So every tent has a name. I don't know if you know this, but every tent has a name that means peace in another language of a country that's impacted me.
Ooh. And so how did you pick? Because you've been to so many countries.
Right? So Heiwa is tent 1. And that is the cool thing about this is Japan. Mm-hmm. I have never been to Japan. That means peace in Japanese. Mm-hmm. But I have lived in Japan in a past life. I know this from regressions. Okay. Yeah. And so it's very special. But here's what's cool. Heiwa means peace, but Heiwa was the name of the tribal village I lived and worked in for 4.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I was looking for words in peace in different languages, I see Heiwa and I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's a no-brainer.
It obviously had to be a tent.
Yeah.
And then tent 2 is Vrede, and that means peace in Dutch, which I'm from. Mm-hmm. My grandparents are from. Mm-hmm. And then tent 3 is Shanti, which means peace in Sanskrit. Mm-hmm. Tent 4 is Paz, which means peace in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And then tent 5 is Ke'in, which means peace in the Mayan language.
Wow.
Which is the indigenous people of this. I mean, there's many indigenous groups, but the Mayan is one of the ones I've spent the most time with. And so that's tent 5. And then the main meeting tent is named Ekam, and Ekam means oneness. And I believe that's what is true. We are one. And so we come together in that tent, and all kinds of magic happens, and we become one. And we
love it. I love it. I love it. And I love when I heard you saying that the names, the different languages that meant peace, it wasn't like just the norm. Like I know some of it is just very meaningful, like you being from Holland, right? Your heritage is from Holland. But it sounded so sacred, all of it coming together and how meaningful it was. It sounded so sacred, just, to go through that. And then like you start with Japan with tent 1, right? And if you know, I know but about Japan and just some of the people that live in the area and the longevity that the people have there and the things that they do to protect their bodies, right? Like, and their mind and their spirits. Like, I mean, Yeah, you continue to like blow my mind sometimes, but but I'm just thinking about how sacred and how meaningful that is. Like to think about all of the names that the languages that you use from the areas that you use them from. So I just wanted to mention that. That's beautiful.
And we have a 200-pound Shiva Lingam stone there on our yoga terrace, which is grounding heaven to earth. There's a whole bunch of crystals there, super powerful. The last retreat, we made a bunch of organite and we put it all around the property to protect us from the EMFs and so much magic.
Yeah.
So anybody who enters goes, oh. That's what happens.
Wow. I want you to tell people too, like how meaningful that is, right? Because I don't think, and I'm gonna even say, I don't even know if I fully, like I get it, but until you experience it, right, then you really come to a higher level of awareness. But talk about how important it is to be in spaces like like Upaya. Tell people about that.
So good. You're such a good interviewer. You ask the best questions. So yeah, it's really important. So just to give you context, I just came back from India and spent 6 weeks there, 4 weeks, and then 2 weeks a year apart, in a location with my spiritual masters who vibe over 900. Wow. Okay. I mean, you get near them and you just start crying from the unconditional love that just like you can't almost like, it's so much love. And so, and the location there in different locations was over 900. So when you're in that vibration, what it does is it raises your frequency, right? Now you add amazing content and growth and amazing friends and accountability and great food. And then the vibration, and what it does is it catapults you into a different frequency that will be permanent.
Yeah.
And just to put it into perspective, the average person who is not a seeker, who is not learning and seeking, only raises their vibration 5 points a lifetime.
Wow. What, a lifetime? Wow.
A lifetime.
Wow.
Because we're 95% unconscious, right? We're only 5% conscious unless we start waking up. I always do this when I realize
but that doesn't.
I got myself programmed. Okay, I just realized I'm crappy. I'm in a crappy mood. Okay, what do I want to do about it? I want to change it. Okay, I'm going to change it now. Now I have a choice.
Yeah.
Until you're awake, you're just like a zombie up against the fence, doing whatever program was instilled in you as a child that you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to do something about it. And that's what we do at the retreat is we annihilate those programs that are no longer serving you. And we reprogram new empowering ones along with all the other things that we do. And so you walk out of there in your own power, completely clear on where you're going and why.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. So I want to, because you mentioned something just now. So I want to show the testimonial video because you talked about how, basically how people raise their vibration, right? And you mentioned a young lady who had the opportunity to do that at the last retreat, right? So I want to show her video and I want to mention her age, right? And this is the only reason why I do want to mention her age is because I know that there's a lot of difficulty around her age group. Yeah. Right. And dealing with people and vibrations being low because of society and surroundings and challenges. Right. So I wanted to mention her age in all of this because just listen to her and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
18.
Everyone.
She's only 18.
She's 18. Thank you. She's 18 years old. So just think about an 18-year-old or think about when you were 18 and think about some of the challenges. And just listen to this beautiful young lady give her testimonial.
Hey everyone, my name is Alina. I am here at the amazing, beautiful Upaya Retreat Center, and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the Get Your Shit Together retreat that's happening from March 7th to the 12th. So lucky and grateful to have been able to go to the last one last month in January. It's only been 3 weeks, and I have already seen immense change. My parents tell me almost every day how much I've changed for the better. I am manifesting my dream life. I'm becoming the person who I've always wanted to be, but always been too scared to, or put excuses. It's amazing, to say the least. It is amazing. It is the one thing that if I could share with everyone, I would share this. It's hosted by the amazing Amy Joy. She is my beautiful friend and mentor, and I am so immensely grateful for her, for teaching me all of this, for giving me all the tools, the new tools in my toolbox. It is all about oneness and growth, personal growth, spiritual growth, and about manifesting the life that you want, becoming the person you want to be. So yeah, this is something that is interesting to you. It is here at Upaya from March 7th to the 12th. There's amazing food. 7 people who were complete strangers and turned them into a family who adores each other in 6 days. Amazing. I talk to those people every day. I have so much love for them because we grew together and we learned together. So if this is something that you would like to do, if this is something that's calling you, please go. It will change your life. I know it has changed mine, and everyone who came has changed forever. So remember, March 7th to the 12th, tell your friends, tell your family at the Amazing Upaya.
I love that testimonial. And more so too, because I have a teenager, right? And so I know, like what the teenagers go through, right? And what happens in life with teenagers, and to hear her talk about the transformation that happened at the retreat, and to understand that she has community, which you talked about earlier, but now she has a loving community of people that she now calls family, as a result of everything that happened at the retreat. That's monumental, for a young lady who is really starting life right now, right? At 18 years old, it's like coming into the adult life. And having gone through that experience at 18 years old, to be able to now go into her life aware, transformed, with her mind transformed, to be able to now manage adulthood in a totally different way than she probably would have had she not experienced the retreat. So
absolutely. She told me she feels so prepared for life.
yeah,
She's so grateful. So grateful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is there, I want to ask, is there anything that she mentioned? And I know there's probably so many things, but can you like pinpoint one of the things that she said that, helped to make a difference? And I'm sure it was the combined, but just to
Yeah,
make
it's everything. And it's the way I know how to help reprogram, right?
Mm.
So it's annihilating the old bullshit, and then it's empowering and getting into the body, the new program. It can't just be mental. It's got to be in you.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The old bullshit belief was in you. It's part of you, which is why you've tried to mentally change it, and then it's still sticking, right? So I do energy work too. So I help eliminate those beliefs, and then we're able to have a fresh slate and reprogram the new ones.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we learn is how to control our state, how to control how we feel. Because how we feel about this moment, our day, week, month, year, life, is completely determined on our emotions, right?
Yeah.
And if we don't control our emotions, we could have a really terrible life.
Yeah.
Right? And here's the deal. If you feel shitty, you have shitty thoughts.
Yeah.
We're not taught this. We think we're just victims to our emotions. I'm angry because they did that. No, we get to choose whether we're angry or not.
Yeah.
But we're not taught this. So it's not your fault if your emotions are out of control. But I'm telling you, you get to be the boss of your own life. And that's what we do over and over and over. And then what I want to mention is we do 2 months of follow-up. So there is constant accountability and reminders for 2 months after the retreat, because that's how you get lasting change. I'm not interested in just you having 5 days of a nice time.
Yeah.
I am here to transform your life.
Yeah.
That's why I do what I do. So yeah.
Yeah, and you just answered, because that's was going to be the question of mine, like what happens after the retreat is over. So you just answered that question, but then I want to add on to that, even to say to people to continue, right, to go to the retreats as you continue to have the retreats, to restore,
Yes.
to refresh, right? Because like you mentioned, right, there's the past things that may continue to creep in a little bit. So just like we have to continue to drink water, right, we need to continue to change our energy and continue to reframe, what's happening on the outside, especially when you go from a place like Upaya and Los Cabos and then go back to a place that's now, at a level of 200 or below. You need to continue to refresh yourself. So I just wanted to mention that. So talk about the importance of, the continuation, even after the 2 months is over.
Yeah.
To continue to come back.
I think Shrek said it best.
Mhm.
We're like onions. there's lots of layers, and I will never stop learning and growing and seeking. And how I've come so far in comparison to where I am, and I don't know what I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And how great is that?
Yeah.
Right. And so I have mentors, I have coaches, I go to retreats all throughout the year because I need it too.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, it's a never ending Earth School opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Earth School. That means we don't quit learning and growing. At least I don't.
That's right.
I refuse to be stuck.
That's right.
You're either growing or dying. That's the reality.
That's right. That's
what
right.
you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm about living and thriving and magic. One of the participants said this. She was 64. So we had 18 and 64 different age groups.
Yeah.
Man and women. So this is co-ed. And she says this. She came, honestly, because her husband asked her to. And in 64 years, she had never done a personal growth anything. Wow. And she kind of thought, she admitted all this, that she kind of knew what she was doing. She was 64 and she was pretty happy. And and what do I need to know? I've lived the 64 years successfully, right? That was kind of her thinking. And then she came away and she says, I thought I had all these tools, but I didn't know there was this whole magic toolbox available to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when we talk, because we talk often, because there's follow-up, they are just, she's the first one to share now what she's learning and what she's growing. And she came with her husband. And so they're like way tighter and way just thriving and living life. No, it makes me gloriously happy. Like, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah. And I see you like glowing as you're telling the story.
I'm so excited. It's my favorite thing when the light comes on and they're like, I don't have to suffer.
Yeah. Yeah. I can remember, and I can attest to this too. Like, I can remember years ago, this was pre-COVID. I think it was 2018 is when I went on this journey, to start to transform my mind, my body, everything. And I can remember my best friend asked me to go on very similar, join this program. And at the end is a culmination, like a retreat as well. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. But just like the beautiful woman that you just mentioned, my thought process was, okay, well, the culmination, it was in Cancun. So I'm like, oh, well, the culmination is in Cancun. So, okay, I'm going to go. When I started the program, did not realize that I was going to get so much out of it. That was not my thought process, because when I was learning in the corporate space, right? I wasn't learning about awareness and, enlightenment. I wasn't learning those energy. I wasn't learning those things. So I walked away like mind blown. And I haven't stopped since then, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like what you don't know, like you said, right? You don't know what you don't know until you find out, right? So
I would say with like complete accuracy, everyone will walk away mind blown and changed. You can't not. It's impossible.
Yeah.
The way it's set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. It's so fun. You get so much more joy. Yeah. And that's what life's about, I think. Yeah. I don't think we're here to suffer. I think we're here to thrive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Heaven on earth. That's what I'm all about, creating heaven on earth.
That's
Go
beautiful.
to heaven, I gotta hear. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
I'll get there when I get there. No, like I love it here.
Yeah,
And it's not because life is easy. It's because I know how to navigate it. I know how to decide what I want to feel.
Yeah.
No matter what's going on.
Oh, I love that. So I want us to talk about that a little bit more, but I want to show the video again. And I want to point out a couple of things, right? One thing, a couple of my favorite parts of the video. So the beautiful young lady who's in the white, who it's almost like she has this revelation or she did something that she couldn't do. I don't know exactly what she's doing, but the joy that she exemplifies after it's done. Oh my God. One of my favorite parts of the video.
So she's annihilating limiting belief. She realized what she was telling herself, and it was bullshit, right? And now she's got her new empowering belief, and then everyone's celebrating her for owning her new empowering belief, and that's how we get it in the body.
Yeah,
because you got to move.
Yeah.
You got to move while you're learning, and you have to do it. I think only 8 times, and you've got it. And we do it lots.
Okay.
So that there's just no question of what's true now.
Yeah.
There is a new program running this show.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay,
we're going to show the video. Oh, wait, I got to tell you my second one.
Okay.
I always love when I think about what I want to do in the future, near and beyond. But I always think about connection. Right. And I love the part where you guys are going around and you're connecting everybody into that circle where it's like one big giant hug.
It's called a cinnamon roll hug.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
It makes you so happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's just, oh my God, this is so fun.
Yeah. And I'm sure people were laughing, right? Like as you do it.
Oh, we were killing ourselves laughing. That's a terrible phrase. I'm going to stop saying that. That's terrible. We were laughing really hard. It was amazing. Yeah, I just became aware.
Yeah.
Became aware of a really bad phrase that we shouldn't use anymore.
There you go. And I see that in the video too, right? So
see, this is part of the programming.
Yeah.
Awareness. Yes.
I love it. So let's just show. I want to show this again because I want people to just see. I'm going to say the joy around this, right? Because that's what you see in the video. So we're going to show this again, and then I'm going to put the QR code on, and then we're going to come back and talk a little more about the retreat.
Yay.
And we are back. So everyone out there, if you know that, there's something that you're lacking in your life, if you're holding on to limiting beliefs, if you know you need a transformation, if you are stuck and you just don't know what to do. Or if you're just looking for a little more joy, right? You have joy and you're just looking for more, and you want to do that in this beautiful space. Listen, this is the QR code. You can click on the QR code so that you can register for the Upaya retreat. It's the Get Your Shit Together retreat. Let's name it, call it by its name. It's at the Upaya Retreat Center. So I want to make sure that we say that. And I love that it's called Get Your Shit Together. Don't be shy about those words, everybody. This is a good thing. We always want to get our shit together, right? Mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
Talk about that, because I know, just because I know you, I know that you're touching on all of those.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we talk about day one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are multidimensional beings. We can't ignore the body any more than we can avoid the mind any more than we can avoid our spirit.
Yeah.
And we must pay attention to all three. And we get to, you know? So it's fun. Oh my gosh, we have so much fun.
So you talk about the fun, right? And I know sometimes people shy away from what seems like the work part until they get there. I'm going to say this, right? When you get there, when you get to retreats like this, none of it feels like work, right? Even though it's work that you're doing, but none of it feels like work. But talk about some of the other things that happen outside of what I'm going to say. I'm putting my air quotes up. I'm going to say the coaching part of it.
Yeah.
But this is a whole experience, I know.
Yeah.
You know, right? But talk about some of the other things that you do, because in the video we saw like there was whale watching there as well. So talk about some of the other things.
So I don't want to give it all away, because I like that there's a certain amount of surprises, but there could be whale watching, there could be orgonaut making, there could be painting, there could be zip lining or ATVing, there could be like I can't do all of those in a week, obviously, but it's going to be some great things. And we have so much fun bonding and getting to know each other and sharing our aha moments and how we're growing, and we get to cheer each other on. We get to celebrate our wins, and we get to be beautiful mirrors and reminders to each other. And like Alina says, like 6 people it was 8 of us after 6 days. I mean, friends for life. Friends for life. Like no questions. If any one of us needed to go where they're living, we would have a room, we would have a bed. That's the reality.
Yeah.
And that's what we create here. That's what we create here.
Yeah.
This is not about making money. This is about transformation.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Of course, it costs money, and there needs to be an exchange, because if you don't, you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
But that is so far from what is important to me. I just want to help.
Yeah.
The idea of you bringing your kid or your husband or your sister or your friend, somebody that you love, and you get to do this together. Are you kidding me? Now you've got someone for life who speaks your language and is in your home or near you, right? Versus, I mean, we'll all be there, but we don't necessarily live with you, right? And so, just
So I want to ask you too, because I know you didn't want to give it away, but even talk about the importance of why the experiential work, and I'm putting up air quotes again, right? But the experiential work versus the experiential fun, like why it's important to mix those things.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, it's if you're having fun while learning, you actually will learn faster and it'll be more permanent. So that's number one. But number two, we're here to enjoy life, I think. And so if we can't actually have some fun, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Right. So, and you'll learn more if you can only cram so much in your head. Right. And so I know how to do this. I know how much people can take. And then we move and we have fun and we eat. And the food is unbelievable. My chef, unbelievable. He's a celebrity chef. I hired him because he makes amazing food and his heart is so golden that you can feel the love. And then I hired him before I even saw his CV, before I saw his what do you call that? Everything about him. What do you resume?
His resume.
And he's a celebrity chef. He's cooked for a list this long of celebrities. I was like, I mean, I know he's good, but holy cow.
Yeah.
But again, he's not there for that. He's there because he's amazing. His heart is so loving. And he caters to everybody's needs. You know, we got one person allergic to this one's vegan, this one's keto, this one, you know, and everyone, he just with love hands out all the things. No, he's unbelievable. And every meal was so funny because people are like, I thought last meal was the best meal, I didn't think you could beat it, and now it's this. Every meal was like that till the last meal. It was hilarious.
Wow.
So, yeah, and we just sent him lots of love. We just love on everybody all the time, so it's really cool.
I love that. And I wanted to let everybody know, if you haven't clicked the QR code, we're going to show that again, but we have the link as well, and we're going to put the link in the comments as well, so you can just click the link and get that for yourself, so that you can make sure that you sign up, that you can register today for the experience. And just tell everybody what's included, because you mentioned the food, and just tell everyone what's included.
Yeah, so you get a tent. You'll probably have roomies, and you have your own private bathroom. So each tent has its own bathroom. It includes our celebrity chef, Isra, and all the food and all the activities, anything we do. So once you arrive, everything's included. And 2 months of follow-up is also included. And oh my God, the transformation is also included.
Yay. So what would you want people to know? What else would you want people to know about the retreat, about the beautiful space, anything that you want to let people know?
I think I want to let people know that what you're going to do is like I said, you're going to learn how to control your state. We're going to annihilate limiting beliefs. We're going to reinstall empowering beliefs. We're going to learn about the 7 human needs, why we do what we do, and how we self-sabotage like that over and over again. And once you realize it, it's like, I can't even tell you the difference that it makes. This also helped me write millions of dollars in sales, understanding people. So like, it's we should know this. We should know why we're doing what we're doing and why everyone around us is doing what they're doing. And when we have understanding, then we can have grace, we can have forgiveness, we can, for ourselves and for everybody around us. It changes everything. And then we're going to design your life. We're literally going to get very clear on what floats your boat, not what your mom says, not what your dad says, not what your husband or wife says, not what your kids think. What do you want? What lights you up? And you're going to be so like laser focused on it and know exactly why and how. The how comes later. We're going to know all the other things prior, and we're going to even have some action steps to take. So like I said, when you leave, you're going to be completely in your own power and so clear. So clear. And here's the cool thing. You're going to have such great notes. Your notebook is going to be like something you're going to want to keep close to you forever, because it's literally, this is how you do life. Like, honestly, this is the foundation for life. That's how I would say this. Everything else builds off of this, because if you don't have this, all the other information falls through. So in my humble opinion, if I was on a mountaintop and I could only explain a few things to the world, this would be it.
Wow. So you're getting a blueprint for your life, everyone. And I want to go back and mention the testimonial again, because you heard the transformation from the beautiful young lady. And it says a lot when, you know, at 18 years old and your parents say to you like that they recognize, you know, the change, the shift that happens. So talk a little bit more about some of the other stories. You mentioned the other beautiful woman that's 64 years old. Talk a little bit more about what people, like what came out of it for other people.
Yeah, I have one participant going through a relationship thing, and she's being able to navigate it with grace and ease, where before these tools, it would have been tough. Probably would have been like most other divorces or relationship stuff that could just blow up, right? One of the participants, he's a single dad half the time, and he has two beautiful daughters, and he's teaching his daughters these things, and his daughters are learning and know how to control their state, and they're learning, and together, like, it's changing the drama in the home. The length of the crying and the whining is this much now instead of this much, because the program's just not allowed. And the kids understand why. Like, why would we do that? Why are we going to suffer when we can feel like this? I get to choose. I'm not a victim to my emotions, right? Are you kidding? To learn this at 4? Are you kidding? So he's doing that. His mom is set up at the community center here, and I went last week with him and his mom and taught the teachers at the community center. Some of these truths. We're going to keep going, and soon we're going to do the teenagers, and then after that we're going to do the younger kids, so that the whole school knows.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about that too, because I wanted to say, when you mentioned, the learning part of it and how people learn and how people best learn, right? And to incorporate the fun and some of the experiential, it makes me wonder why they don't do this in school, especially just looking at the teenagers today and with what they have at their exposure with social media and just the lack of attention, right? Like, why they don't change the way they teach kids these days,
Get me started, Tracie.
I know.
It's a travesty.
Yeah.
No, they're not taught. We're taught to be victims. We're taught to think we're not enough.
Yeah.
90% of the things I deal with in my coaching and healing is this program that I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And it's completely untrue.
Yeah.
And it affects everything that we do. And it's everywhere. It's a disease, and it's a lie. And we're living our lives on a lie.
Yeah.
And it's we don't have to.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
Let's not.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's good what you're talking about. Not.
No, I know, but like, it's that simple. It's a lie. So let's not. Let's learn how not to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's simple. We just don't have to.
Absolutely. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that we're at the end of the show. I hate that. So I want to share everything again. You can see, everyone, you can see the link here. I want to put up the QR code again so that people can click the QR code. And I'm going to let me just take the banner down so you can click the QR code here, right? Click the QR code. It'll take you directly. If you know how to use your phone, it's really easy. You just go to your video where you do videos and just click the QR code. It's going to give you a prompt where you can just click on it, and then you'll be taken right to that particular page. Okay. So
I do want to mention one thing, if it's okay.
Sure.
So there's a form on there. I want to know you. I want to get to know you. I want to know what you need to make sure that this is a good fit for you. And if it's not, I'll tell you. It's all good. I only want you here if you want to be here and if it's a good fit. And so it's set up that way. I want to know who's going to be here. I want to know you're serious. I want to know you're hungry, because this is about getting our shit together. That's what we will do, and we're going to have fun doing it.
I love that, and just the importance of that too. Having the desire to change. You may not know where to start, but if you have the desire to make changes, right?
All I need your body here, and the desire. And the rest, I got you.
Yeah.
I know exactly what to do.
I love it. I love having you here, Amy. Once again. Oh my gosh. This has been amazing, everyone. Listen, do not forget, click the QR code. We're going to show it one more time here. Click the QR code, go register, fill out the form and register. And then also, if you look in the comments, you will see the link that is there. Also, if you're saying, I don't know what to do with the QR code, well, we got you covered for that too. The link is right there in the comments. I'm going to show that really quickly again as well. Put that up on the screen so that you can make sure that you have it there. Again, you can go right to the
Love to have you.
Absolutely. And you can go right to the show page. Even after the show is over, you can go to the show page And you can also go on to Trajectory TV under E360 TV Network. The show will be there, so you can click on the QR code even there. If you're like, I just missed it. Nope, no, you didn't. You can go back and you can watch, catch the show, hear all about the retreat, and then sign up. All right. We love you all out there. We thank you for being here. And we will see you next Wednesday. We're going to have Dr. Deja with us, who is a chiropractor, talking about the importance of the chiropractor practice. I don't even know what to say there, but the importance of your spine alignment. Let me just put it that way.
There you go. I wouldn't be walking without a chiropractor. I absolutely believe in them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And you will be amazed by, what it does for your entire body. So, get ready for that for next week, everyone. But we thank you for being here. We love you, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.